things that I have prayed and just would give anything to see in 5 years, I've seen it now in 4 weeks. By day 2 of life, Luke started to go into a coma. The first 6 months of Luke's life were very traumatic, to say the least. He was in the hospital every week. We would get out for a couple days and be back. His pneumonia was just never really managed. For 6 months, he stayed at a brain damaging level. Every time I would see a doctor, they just pick one diagnosis to fixate on. So Luke has been given a diagnosis of CPS1, he's had a liver transplant, metabolic stroke, cerebral palsy from the stroke, and we also got an autism diagnosis. There were many nights that I would stay up crying, thinking, what can I do for him? Because I feel like everything I'm doing here is not working. Dr. Crawford takes us back, and he was looking over Luke, talking to him. He didn't treat Luke like any of his diagnosis, not one of them. He was looking at Luke to treat Luke what works best for him. This is a place of miracles. So before, I could never get Luke to dress himself. And the other morning I had his clothes laid out for him, and I was in the bathroom getting ready, and I walked back into the bedroom and he had already gotten himself dressed. He was completely nonverbal from the stroke, so never said a word, but he has started to talk. I was like, you get to go to clinic today and see all your friends. And I was like, are you ready to go now? And he said, yeah. And now he's trying, every night he's trying to sound out words. He actually sits at night and in bed and wants me to read to him. He's never done that before. He was not ever using utensils. And I've made videos of him since being here of eating his first cup of ice cream, literally from Chick-fil-A, because he can do it now. I just have so much hope for Luke's future, and just seeing the things that he's done in 4 weeks. I can't imagine what it's going to look like for him when we get home and we're doing home care. Who knows, maybe a year from now I will be sending y'all T-ball pictures and whatever he wants to do.
You're doing awesome, dude.
This place is restoring health, restoring hope to families, and truly changing lives, not only of the patients, but of the families as well.
The first thing I think that will be most helpful is, if you're not comfortable, just shake me off when I come around to you. But I think if I know there's a commonality in the room, it's going to help me help a lot of you faster versus going person by person. So does everybody have a form of CP in the room? No? Okay, so some do. Okay, some don't. So we have TBI. We have anoxic injury during near-fatal drowning. Okay, there is a difference. So if I ask NFD versus a stroke or something, I just want to make sure. So near-fatal drowning, there's a few of those in here. Is there more than one? Did you say yes, ma'am? Did you say yeah? TBI. TBI, okay. TBI, NFD, anybody else, rare diagnosis, undiagnosed, rare diagnosis, rare diagnosis, anybody? She's HIE, but she has cerebral palsy? Yes. Okay. Yep. Okay. So raise your hand raise your hand if you know what you're trying to raise support for. You do. If you have an idea of some things, yeah? Yeah. You have some therapy. So therapies, yes. Equipment, yeah. Day-to-day life, bills. Anybody is in that position? Okay. Okay. Did anybody not come to my class earlier? Okay. So earlier I taught about how to use the grants and how to make your support page, okay? I think I talked to you a little bit about what that looks like. I want you to feel free to ask questions. So this is very interactive. I don't want to talk at you guys. I want you guys coming right back at me. ask questions as we go, because this is kind of built off of being in the course earlier. So if there's something where you're feeling lost, just interrupt, okay? Or you won't be interrupting. Just say, hey, what is that? Why this or that, okay? So the goal today is for anybody that wants a page to walk away with a page. If you have a laptop or computer, I'll walk you through those steps. When it gets to your description, I'm gonna help you build it, and you guys get to listen to it be built. Before we get there, is there anybody that's not, I'm sure there's plenty in the room, so anybody that's only looking for grants, does not want to do a support page, okay.
I would prefer grants over support.
Okay.
But I'm open to learning.
Okay, so for the 3 that are only looking for grants, how much of the total of what you're looking for is over 10,000? Is it over 10,000, or is there treatments that are like way under 5,000?
Yeah, probably 5 to 10.
5 to 10, okay. Okay, so I'm gonna start with grants. We're gonna start there. That's where we always start anyway. If you called me and you said, Abby, well, you wouldn't be able to get to me if it was for like 2,000 or something. They're gonna send you a really quick video and a show how, and then you'll know how to do it. But if you have a goal marked for a higher amount and we sit on the phone and you go, I only want grants, I'm gonna do 1 of 2 things. I'm gonna either bring reality to that, like the odds of you getting a grant for that, not that it can't happen, the reality of it to get a grant for a higher amount, we're talking about 10,000, 12,000. I have gotten a grant for 40 grand before. So it's happened 1 time out of thousands. So it's a very rare thing, very specific scenario in a specific location that just happened to everything falls into place. I'm gonna help you bring some reality. You're welcome, come on in, yeah. I'll help you bring like some reality to that. And then you can make the decisions that is best for your family, okay? So we're gonna start with some grants. So if you have the platform pulled up, go ahead and go to grants.supportnow.org.
Do it on our phone.
You can do it on your phones. You can watch and listen if you prefer. Is there anybody, well, I could ask for, I could see if one of y'all want to share. The only thing I would request, and I'm going to go ahead, you guys are also going to have access for anybody that wants. Do you guys have, is AirDrop a thing for both Android and cell phones or iPhones? It is? Only iPhones. Okay. If anybody wants to be my example, but you don't want to share your income amount, but you would share it in a one-on-one, if you want to tell me, like you can text me, write it down on a piece of paper, and I just have that in my head, and as I'm demoing grants, I can show you, or I can just keep it general. But if somebody wants to be my example, so you guys can kind of watch this. For those looking for equipment, I'm going to give you a couple. There's a couple that I'm going to give you guys that works for every single person in this room, whether you make $1 million a year or you make 60, okay, or 20. So we're going to go ahead and log in. I'm going to start with general CP. I'll leave HIE in only because it falls under so much of the general. If you think you have the oldest child in here that has a diagnosis, tell me the age. 16? 16, okay. 17? Okay. So the good news is you guys are all still in that range of grants. So don't be discouraged by that. So let's see. All right, so where's my 16-year-old? What state, you're in Florida? Oh, you're not 16. Who said 16?
I'm 16, but we're wearing CP. I didn't know what
You had rare diagnosis, right? And you had TBI?
my son's TBI, 17.
Oh, 17, okay. We'll start with that, and then I'll come to rare. Rare has a whole great category. Did your child have CP as a result of rare?
No.
No. Oh, that's right, you told me that. Okay. So, TBI. What year is 17? That's like 10, right?
2008.
Oh, I was way off. Sorry. I have a 17-year-old. You'd think I know. Okay. All right. Oh, let me put a state. Let's see. What state are you in? California? Okay. All right. Once you put this information in, it's going to sort. A lot of you have seen this already. It's going to sort by your location, your diagnosis, and your age. The age part has brand new filter. We're adding new things all the time. So check back because we make new things to make this better. This site is only going to get better. So we have a 17-year-old with a TBI in California. It's going to filter up. It's going to show you things in California It's going to show you things USA-wide. It's going to show you things that are international, all the things that you can qualify for based on location. The only thing we don't have right yet is counties, and sometimes there are county-specific grants. So at the bottom, if there's a limitation on that or that we have not been able to put in the sort yet, it will sort it for you, okay?
What was that, grants?
.supportnow.org. That's one thing everybody can do right now is go ahead and like create your site, because you'll feel a little better once you start getting this information. Okay, so first thing, we're gonna look for some equipment. Here's a little fact that you won't learn from this. Yes, you can look in the subcategories. So if you need help with your AFOs or wheelchair, you can look in the subcategories. But let me show you something. I have mine sorted, so I'm going to have to default to all. There's 2 pages under wheelchairs of saying there's grants that say they'll help with wheelchairs. That being said, our whole team doesn't have them all sorted yet, because sometimes it'll just say equipment. And sometimes that equipment means wheelchairs, but they didn't specify that on their website, so our team didn't add it. So when we were reviewing them, we add those things. So what I highly recommend is start in the subcategory. Like, let's say you're saying AAC device. You want a Tobii Dynavox, right? And that's $17,000. Start there, but if you're like, man, I didn't find any grants that worked for me, go up to equipment, okay? Go into the category above. So let's say we're looking for equipment. I'm going to tell you guys a few right off the top of my head that are going to help you guys. Does anybody want to share what kind of equipment? Or no? Anybody have any piece of equipment they're looking for?
I want a gate trainer, but that's not really
That's equipment? Yeah. I help with a bike. Oh, bikes are easy. Adaptive bikes are easy. Never fundraise for an adaptive bike unless it's a big one. Huh?
Do you know about the Great Bike Giveaway?
Yeah.
That's
That's
hard.
where I got my son's bike from. It was
Did
like-
you win it?
We were winning, but then
No.
everybody funded it.
Yeah, so this is what it's a great thing. But let me tell you, I didn't know they were taking donations. I thought people were voting. And then they had this little sleight of hand of donate too. I had raised $2,000 and I didn't even know it. Okay? So guess what I did? I got 2 grants to supplement the rest. So my son has a Josie, I call it Jossie, but I know it's Josie because I've talked to the owner and he says Josie, but I like to say Jossie, so I'm gonna stick with it. The Jossie wheelchair, they have adaptive wheels that can come off that you can take on the beach, which we live in Florida, so the beach is relevant. You can take skiing if you live anywhere in the mountains or snow, or off-roading, hiking and stuff, and it can adapt to the back of a bike. So the base price is $5,000. Insane, first of all. A stroller for $5,000. But I wanted the bells and whistles, the adapters, all the things. So mine was $10,000. And I got it. We raised $2,000 unaware. We were not trying to raise $2,000, but we raised $2,000. And then we got the rest fully covered with grants. 2 grants, because you can stack grants. So when you have a higher price point, don't be intimidated to still get grants, even though it's like, so when I say, if you have a higher price point, you're not going to find all the grants, doesn't mean you can't get grants. It just means part of it might still have to come from another way. But if you have a $10,000 thing and all of a sudden now you just have to figure out $2,000, that's a lot more doable, right? Even if you're not crowdsourcing. Okay, so I heard bikes. So we're going to just go through a few. The first one I'm going to tell you to apply for a bike. Is this helpful? Like, is this what you guys were thinking? Like, just like hands-on walkway? Okay. So the very first foundation I'm going to tell you to apply for a bike is the Chase Warrior Foundation, right here. Chase Warrior Foundation. They go up to, I think, 26, 0 to 26. They do equipment. You do not need to prove your income. This is not income sensitive, okay? Letter of medical necessity is required. To get a bike, come on in. To get a letter from your doctor for a bike is very easy, or a PT. I would get it from my PT. I wouldn't even bother my doctor because they might be like, I don't know, sometimes. Usually doctors are pretty good. I'm not trying to put them down. But like PTs know exactly why. The hips need it, the back needs it. Social, emotional wellness, all of those things help. Like, I will say though, like I am a partner, my company is a partner with Mobility and Access. They create the Jossie stroller. Here's a kiddo that I'm helping currently raise because theirs was much more than most. And it's a tandem bike. I think the price point was originally like $17,000, but they had some grants that they've already won. So they keep, instead of me adding it, they didn't know I could add it and reflect it. So they've just dropped their amount each time they got a grant to show that they're closer to the goal. But this is where the crowdsource, in addition to the grants, can really help. So these larger amounts, that's typically the kind of technique I'm going to approach. So, and I just got a message from this mom this week thanking me for encouraging her to crowdsource for this, because she almost is to her goal. And she never thought it was going to be obtainable. But this is like a game changer for her son. So the first grant I want you guys to apply for, if income is, especially if income is an issue, is the Chase Warrior Foundation. Okay? So when you go here, they're going to ask for a lot of things. So for those that weren't in the course, when I said create your toolbox, this is exactly why. So let me click apply. So look, who may apply? Okay, so you do have to, I think you have to be a U.S. citizen for this one. So check that. We usually will write that down. You might just actually have to live in the U.S. Most are resident. You don't have to necessarily be a citizen, but some will be specific, like you must be U.S. citizen. So make sure you look at that when you're applying. So these are the kind of things they're going to ask for. Item description. This is all why I would be copying and pasting. How did you hear about Chase Warrior Foundation? You can say SupportNow, Advocacy Abby, letter of support. So they'll take whatever letter you have written already by your doctor. You don't have to, you can just attach it. So this is, why they should get it. They're going to ask for proof of diagnosis. They're going to have you send all of these things in. Then this is one of the rare, very rare grants that actually reviews every single month. So they have a 30-day wait time. That's amazing. Like, that's very unnormal. These are NFD survivors that decided to make a change because their son went through it. So in my course today, or in the class today, I was talking to you guys about, like, you guys are the change makers. You guys are the people that are going to change someone else's life. And they're one of those people. So Chase survived a near drowning, and as a result, they help lots of families just like us. All right, so let's go back. One of the things I have on here. So did you notice it says you must have a physical impairment? If you don't have a physical impairment, this is not the grant for you, okay? But that can be as mild as a limp to as involved as quadriplegic CP, okay? Minimum amount, $1, maximum amount, $7,000. So ask within the range, okay? So if you have, what do you do if you have a quote that's for $12,000? You say, hi, I'd like to have a grant for, and I always say, give them a range. Don't put them against the ropes, okay? I'd like to get a grant anywhere from $2,000 to $7,000 from Chase Warrior Foundation. I have the other amount I'm fundraising, or I've applied for another grant for the other amount. If you tell them, like, it's okay to give me less than what the quote is, then they'll be like, oh, okay, approved, okay? I mean, not that you're always going to get approved, but it's nice to know that they don't feel like, oh, wait, this is outside our range, and they just dismiss it, okay? All right. Let's go back to a few others. Okay, so this one is unique. Oh, go ahead.
What's the light? Like, I'm trying to do it with you. What is the lightning mean?
Oh, yeah, so I went, were you here? You were here.
I was, but I can't.
You were here, come on. Okay, that means pending review. That's just, I was in view all because my database is really sorted. So when you click the lightning bolt, you can then sort it. You can hide it, favorite, click applied or received. That way, when you go into equipment, you just go to your favorites, boom, now you're just applying for ones you already know you qualify for. Curate your database. Like, I can't say it enough. Curate your database. Probably 97% of the 50,000 users on Connect have not curated their database, and they go, it's overwhelming. I went in once, there was too many I didn't know. We didn't qualify for the first 3 I looked at, so I didn't do anything. They're losing out on hundreds of thousands of dollars. It will take you 10 minutes a day for a few weeks to curate your database. If you really want to get through it, do an hour a day, and you'll be done in a week. Curate. So I'll go over this real quick with you guys because I did do this in the course earlier. So when you go to, when you open your account, it's going to look like this. It's going to show you every single database, and I'm going to click View All, but it will always default to pending review. Okay? So you're going to sort these, And when you sort one, like I'll hide this one, it goes away. So that's a different grant from the same organization, but it goes away. And you're going to be like, where are they? It's whatever file folder you put it in. So right here is hide, favorites, applied, received. Curate your experience. So your goal is when you go in here, you click view, you read the criteria. Do they have a financial verification? Yes or no? Do I need a social worker to help me on this? Yes or no? Do I need a letter of medical necessity? It's going to tell you on each of these what situations. We say situations instead of diagnosis because we also have car crash, emergency responses, floods, fires. There's grants for those things, okay?
Question, this may be medical. I know mine is a near drowning, but has a cerebral palsy diagnosis. So
You would put both in. Near drowning's in here, yeah. So
I got it
I'll
all
show you. I'll show you because there are grants that are only for near drowning. Hold on one second. Let me come back to you. I wanted to finish this thought just before I lose it because this one's a good example. When you come in here, you're looking for is there anything that would eliminate me from this grant? Or is this something I would never ever want? It's a prosthetic foot. I don't need it, right? Hide it immediately. You can always unhide. If you lose your job and your income level changes, you can unhide, okay? So you're not losing it forever. It's just out of your way. So you don't get stuck trying to filter through 12 pages of equipment grants. So if you do that, if you look at every limitation, description, all the things, you're like, okay, we fit all this criteria. Which, by the way, guys, some of your kids are going to go to college. Guess what? That's even an area I have, okay? Diagnosis can pay for college without the government involved, okay? Most of us don't know that, right? And trust me, that college, even if you have a full kid on a full athletic scholarship, there's still costs to that. So curate your database, curate it, okay? That's what I mean by curate. So what were you gonna ask?
Oh no, if you have more than one disabled child, can you have
I would recommend currently, you can do a save search and we can undo it. We have the way to do it. It's just not visible to the individual experience. I have a provider side, which you guys really don't need to see. It'll overwhelm you and just throw you off. Right now, I would say just create 2 emails because that's the easier way. There is a way to do save searches and stuff, but we'd have to unlock a bunch of stuff, and I think you guys would be like, why can I pick from all 50 states now? Like, what's happening, you know? So I don't want to throw you off with that, so I would just do 2 different emails. Okay, where did I leave off? Equipment. Bicycles. There's a couple other that I'm going to throw in here real quick. So this is the one I did want to show y'all, though. Let me go back to equipment. So Oracle Health, I know a few of you said you have seen it before. I used to not qualify for that based on our income. My family made too much income, and so they're like, you can't qualify. They recently raised all their income levels. Now, it might still be too low for you, but for like a family of, they've made it so that, hold on, let me find it real quick. They've made it so that, and they open at the 1st of every month, typically, assuming there's money there, and they close on the 15th of every month. You have to have your application in. My son just got approved for it. Like, I was so happy. So they have made it so when you come in here, and they have multiple, so this one's for school programs, so we put the foundation, which is what I call the entity, and then some entities have multiple opportunities. So one might be for therapies, one might be for school programs, one might be for a scholarship. But if you see the same name, it's not because we've duplicated it, it's because it's probably for something different. Just trying to find which one I'm looking right here. So Oracle Health Foundation Pediatric Grants. Now if you see, we've put a lot of info in this one. There's exceptions in this one too. If your child has an intellectual delay, so I believe my son is as smart as they come. However, he would test low because it takes hours for him to test what it might take another kid 30 minutes, okay? So I could prove there's an intellectual disability even though I know he's really smart. So like, just so you know, this can be, don't be scared by labels that they throw at you, okay? You're like, my kid is capable, we know that, but on paper if the doctor says yes, intellectual, physical disability, run with it because it's gonna get them resources. This one, that's the exception. Intellectual, they'll go up to 25 years old, which is really nice when you have a child that needs support. But here's the part that, and there was no news release on this, it just happened, but they recently upped their amount of who could qualify. I think I went over it. Right here. So it says 64,000, which a lot of people go, okay, well, I don't qualify, but that's for a family of 2. So if you have 5 in your household, it goes up by $16,500 for each person in your household. So for, let me get my calculator out just to give you guys, I'm bad with math, so just bear with me. We all have our strengths, right? Times, whoops. So plus 64,000. For a family of 7, your income can be 146,000. Okay? So that's way higher than most. And it used to be up to like 80,000. They just increased it. So this opened up a lot of doors for people. And just food for thought, they want your 1040s. Okay, they want your 1040. So if things have changed, that's fine. You can let them know, I got a new job, something's changed. If it changed for the positive, but you can say, they want your 1040, give them your 1040, because that's what they asked for. Or if things looked great last year, but now you're in a different situation, and maybe it doesn't look bad on paper yet, have your accountant or have your former boss or whatever write a letter. So my husband they downsized his company, and it was just 1 month of he was looking for a new place. His boss wrote, hey, we downsized. He no longer is employed. We presented that. And that month, he got lots of different grants because we explained the situation. So as long as you're transparent, you share what's going on, they're going to honor that. So our 1040 looked one way, but then when we shared the information, they made the exception. So just be mindful of those life changes, even if it's very temporary. That's the time, if you've curated your database, you can really get in and like, hey, I know we've been handed lemons, but we're going to make some lemonade right now. Okay?
May I ask just a question?
Yeah.
So I'm salary, but I have to take a lot of time off from work,
Mm-hmm.
and I've already passed my time.
Mm-hmm.
So my checks are literally never the same, and my salary is never actually, I never reach my salary at the end of the year lately.
Uh-huh.
What would I do at that point? I would have the boss write a letter, or I would just provide the checks to show? How would I?
You're going to provide whatever they ask for. So if they say 1040, your 1040 looks great, but you're like, but this isn't reality, because this year it looked so different, I think I would just get a letter written. So here's another thing. There are foundations that allow you to minus out anything you've spent medically. So you might make $200,000, but you spent $60,000 on your child's care, and they allow you, as long as you can prove it. You can't just say it, but you got to prove it. As long as you can prove that, they will minus out all of that. So I'll give you an example. My rare disease families. I got you right here. So Chives Charity is a fantastic, I'm just trying to think where I would have put it. Oh, it's because it's in equipment. Chive Charity, sorry, is a fantastic organization. Where is my Chive? Maybe hold on. They're in here. You know what? I think I might have hid them. I did. Let's see. All right, we'll just go straight to them. Chives is a great organization that gives to veterans. They give to children with rare disease, and they have a higher threshold than a lot do as well. So let me go over to about. No, it's trying to get me to register, but I don't want to register. Okay. Sorry. Almost there, guys. So this one, they will do everything from a van remodel or modifications to your home, vans. They'll do all kinds of things, but they're one of the rare groups that allow you to minus out your income. And so here's different kiddos that have received different things. This is a big one. I would not submit a $2,000 or $3,000 something to them. I would be submitting a $10,000 something to them. They do a big amount. They're a very rare foundation that cuts big checks. But then they go closed for 18 months to get the reserves back up. So When you come into here, you'll get to see, the criteria. There's lots of things where they'll answer, like, I'm trying to find the main page. I'm having a hard time getting there. Where they'll answer what they've been doing and who can get their support. But yeah, this one is great for equipment, therapies, treatments, home modifications, vans, everything. And they will minus out anything you've spent. So anybody else want to yell out a different kind of grant they're looking for support for?
Have you gone over, sorry. I really am going to be needing to look into something I can roll my
A van? Okay, yeah. So I do van. I help families raise money for vans all the time. So I use this family as an example in my class. This is a support page we raised. So half the battle is stepping out and being willing to share. Were you in my class? You weren't in the class earlier. No, that's okay. No, that's okay. No, that's okay. When you step out and you're willing to share, a lot of times things happen off paper too. So I just want to encourage you, and I only use SupportNow. I'll reiterate this 1,000 times. It is the best platform out there. It allows up to 100% to stay in your pocket because they allow the donor to round up. So 100% can stay of the intended donation stays with the family because the donor decides to eat that. It's optional, and over 93% of people choose to do that, okay? When you decide to step out, this family, their goal originally was $60,000 because it was for a wheelchair accessible vehicle, and those are expensive. This wasn't even the biggest, by the way. Mine was $70,000. Like, they're not cheap at all. It's bigger the family, the more they cost, right? They're hard to come by. They're really hard to find used. And the grants that I have that do, so we have modification grants. You have to own the vehicle, they'll modify it. The vehicle has to be 1 to 2 years old max, and under $100,000, because they're not going to spend $12,000 to $20,000 modifying something that's going to break down in 5 years, right? So pretty much no matter what, you're going to have to raise support for this, and that's okay. We know how to do that. And so this is a family that said, we're going to step out, we're going to do it. We explain it, and then we ask easily. So if anybody is starting to build their page, like if you have your computer out and you're like, I'm working on it right now, I will help you with your description. I help people every day with their descriptions. Matter of fact, let me just go ahead and give you guys this. If anybody is like, I want to do this, but I don't want to do it in a class setting, I'm going to go ahead and open this for y'all. This is my booking link. You guys are all welcome to book with me. And we can do a one-on-one. I think this will take you there. Let me make sure, but I'm pretty sure you can book with me off of this. Yep, that should take you to my website. Click Start Now, and it's going to open up a form. You're going to answer like 5 questions, and then you'll get my booking link. They're gonna.
My phone died earlier. Is that going to be all in the email that you're going to send us when we put our email?
No, so that's Connect. That's the grants database. If you go to advocacyabby.com/apply, it's the same link. So if any of you are like, I'm going to do this, but I want to do it private, I'm happy to sit down. We'll sit down on a Zoom, or I'm happy to do it after this too. But if anybody's like, yeah, I want to do it now, and I'll share the information and we'll cast vision. So if somebody wants to walk through it, I'll walk through the entire experience. We'll do it as an example for everybody to see how it's done. You'll do it?
Yeah,
Okay. What are you trying to raise for?
for a van, actually.
Okay. When's the last time that have you done any kind of fun? You've never done one?
Never done one.
Okay. And what's your child's diagnosis?
He has cerebral palsy, dystonia, spasticity,
Okay. And where do you live?
and Lubbock, Texas.
Okay. And how many people are in your family?
It's just me and him.
Okay. All right. And I'm going to, what's your phone number?
575.
Oh, wait, actually don't, here. We're being recorded. Well, we're being recorded. I don't want 5,000 people to have it. Come up here. Come up here. Come here. Come here, Mama. Just pull it. Yeah. Text it, write it in, and I'm going to ask you a question that's private that you wouldn't want to. Okay, so I'm actually, and you're ready to create a support page?
Yes.
Okay. If you decide not to launch it after this, you're not stuck to it, okay?
It's good.
Okay. I'm going to text you right now a question. All right. So you guys get to see the process. So I ask all of those questions when you do a one-on-one with me because it helps me think immediately what grants can we get, because that's always the default. We're going to start there. So you said cerebral palsy. Is it due to a rare diagnosis? Okay. So you have a TBI too. And this was post-birth.
No,
So
he was 2 months old.
2 months. So, okay. Yeah. Okay. So this is what we're going to do. We are going to go in here and I'm going to start marking some things. So we're going to start with the sprint. We're going to create your page, get the sprint going, and then I'm going to turn to you when we're done and I'm going to tell you some grants you're going to apply for to chip away at this, okay? Okay. Have you already got the Team Luke? Team Luke? Oh, okay. They're going to open. They're going to open. Okay. I don't know. I don't have that power, but when they do, they're obviously Team Luke's the best. That's why we're all here. Okay, let's go. Am I still sharing? Yep. Okay, so we're gonna go in here. I'm actually gonna log out so it doesn't think it thinks I'm you. So like this is if you were doing this with me. What's your name?
CYNTHIA.
Okay. So, all right, so when you start, we're gonna name the page. So this can be your child's name, or it could be something like accessibility for, or let's see, like sometimes it's just the name, like Sarah Jones, in support of Sarah Jones, or sometimes it's like wheels for so-and-so, or an accessible vehicle for so-and-so. Like it's really up to, what's your child's name?
Udi,
U-R-I, Udi. So it could be access for Udi, or it could be, you like that? Or it could be wheels for Udi, or it could be Udi last name. What do you, wheels for Udi. Okay, I like that. It makes it clear. Okay. Udi, like that?
Yes.
Okay. And you said Cynthia, and last name?
Alba, I have two last names, A-L-B-A, B as in boy, A, and then Albape, A-L, D as in dog, A-P.
Okay, text me your email address and the question I asked you, and I got your number, so. Okay, we're gonna do this, and then if you are like, I'm gonna be doing this, go ahead, even if you're not if you don't know about the description yet, you're like, and you're not gonna have to launch it right now or anything, but if you wanna start building your page while we're doing this, you can build it too, and then after we can sit down, I can look at everybody's description. Okay, let me do this real quick. So when I use your, when I put your email address in, it'll send you all your organizer emails. So this is if you're doing it. So you're going to get your password. You're going to get access to your database. Can you text me a picture of your son? Okay. Okay. So go ahead.
Recommends like doing a support page now for one. What if you have multiple needs?
Yeah. So
Do
while she's looking at that,
update
let me show you.
it Or create a new one.
Yeah, so I would do one, because you're not going to fundraise 1 month and then fundraise the next month, right?
Yeah,
It's a tricky slip. So while she's pulling up the picture and stuff, okay. You can see this is a kiddo who had a noxic injury post-birth. She's public about it, so I'm not sharing anything that's not public. We listed out everything she wanted to do because it was really important to her to be able to do it all. Like she needed to do it as much as she could. Now, this is not always relevant, right? Her kiddo is in the first year of recovery. That's a little bit easier than 7 years down the road. So 7 years down the road, I would be looking for more grants for individual part. I mean, she is too. We've actually gotten her several grants. But I would do bigger needs that are clear. So I have to go see this doctor. I need a Trexo robotic walking device. I need to get a van. That's the kind of stuff you can easily explain. So we got this little girl van, or a Trexo robotic walking legs, which might as well be a van, right? And
Those
so,
are like 50,000, aren't they?
Mhm.
They're quite a bit.
yeah, they're amazing.
Yeah.
And it's an amazing company that really cares about kids. So what we did was we shared her story, we explained the price, and people gave. And mom stayed consistent. Mom did the updates. I had said in my course, like, doing updates consistently is very important. I cannot tell you how many people start a page, they do 1 update, 2 updates, and then money's coming in, and everybody's excited, and they're like, oh, I'm gonna focus on something else, or I'm busy. We're all busy, everybody's busy. Doing the updates is your part. That's your give to your community. So you're not just taking, you're giving too. And this is really important because you're allowing them to be part of the journey. It does not have to be personal, private stuff. It can be fun stuff. It can be about your other kids. It can be about you. It doesn't have to be everything like, oh, I'm having to share all this. You don't have to do that. You could literally say, like, let's see what she did here. Please note how long her entry was. Okay, Pumpkin Patch Adventures. Help us keep the magic rolling for Navia. You know what that did? It pinged the 700 people that were following her to come back to her page. And she has a cute kid. And everybody, they're going to be, oh, here's another $50. You know, I would. Every time I come back, if I can, if I'm brought back to something, I feel like I was brought there for a purpose, right? So when I come back, then if you're doing updates, it brings you back every single time. Okay. Yeah.
Because you walked through this with me, and I did update. The problem I seem to have is that Robert has tons of followers on Facebook. They did not transfer well over.
So did you, I'm only because I see so many people, I'm having a hard time recalling. So so my question when somebody says they didn't transfer is the initial launch has to be done the certain way, right? It's getting the 10 yeses. I don't know when we met.
Yes, we sent that out. I got 10 yeses, not that they all 10 did it.
But they didn't all do it. And so that's where the accountability comes in to them. And sometimes they're just not going to do it. They're going to say yes, and they just don't share. Then you find somebody else. It's a keep going in.
Some of them also got very confused. Yeah, I talked to you about my mom.
Yeah.
What they shared was, oh, we have this need, but they won't share Robert's.
You also had an event going on. I remember now, right? You had an event happening, like a sale or something. Yeah, and I think your mom had talked about the sale, and it was like, yeah, that was probably because there's too many things. That's like, for example, people will say, oh, I have a GoFundMe, but I want to start this too. But I have an active GoFundMe. I'm going to tell you, unless you close one, it's not going to work. It just, we can transfer them. We do it all the time. I did it with this kiddo. We transferred. She had already had 60 grand on a GoFundMe. And she told all her followers, I'm going here because I'm keeping more of the money on this platform than I am on a GoFundMe. And so it worked for her, but she has been journaling for a very long time. And what I see often, and this is I get it. It probably would happen to me at times. People stop posting their updates and people fall away. I have seen a lady get no donations. I mean, maybe $100, and I was like, oh gosh. Like I talked big game, and she started, and she got no donations for 7 days. And I was like, she's getting views because I can see this stuff in the back end. She's getting views. What is happening? And then all of a sudden, all the donations started coming in, left and right. And I'll show you the kiddo. All this is public. I'm not showing anybody's stuff that wouldn't want to be shown. Whoops. Let's go. Yeah, there you go. Okay. There we go. So like she went from none to tons, but she stayed faithful in the updates during those 7 days. I'll tell you, there's people that they'll share in like 8 hours, they don't have a response or they don't have something, and they're like, that could be 1,000 reasons. People are getting off work, they're trying to figure things out, they're doing different stuff, right? And so stay the course. Stay the course. I've also seen,
Every other day, you say, or every day?
for the first 2 weeks, I recommend every other day. If you can do every day, great, but that can be overwhelming. First 2 weeks, I'd say every other day, and then you can taper it down. But if you're still collecting money or sharing part of the journey, keep going. At least once a week, try to get something up there. The first 2 weeks is the buy-in. People start to go, they don't think of it as your fundraising page, they think of it as your blog. Because when you go to one of these, now this mama, she posts a lot longer. So Like she writes down. She didn't put a picture. Not everybody puts a picture. I do usually recommend a picture because everybody goes, oh, you know. So hold on one second. So when I click, let me actually go to one that has a picture. If I didn't have a picture, it would just show like a title. But if you have a picture, there we go. So she was doing some kind of shirt stuff, which shirts are great for awareness. Fantastic for awareness. Not a good fundraiser. You're going to make dollars on, you're going to get $200, $300, $400, and people spend $20 each. They'd rather give you the $15 difference on a page. It just would rather. Yep.
I've set up an account already
Uh-huh.
a while back, but I'm locked out of it.
I'll help you.
Okay.
Yeah, just
I didn't know if I could change what, because it says, anyway.
I'll get to it with you. So let me just show you when I go to share. So she posted a picture of him, said, hey, we get to go to hyperbaric oxygen because of all of you. So she's sharing, like, you are a part of that. You get to be a part of that. When I click share, if I go onto Facebook or, you know, wherever I go to share my page, that's how it opens. So when you're sharing over and over all your updates on your social, it doesn't look like you're sharing your fundraising page over and over. It looks like you're sharing this. Yeah. Yep. And then when they click it, it goes to here, and they go, what is this? And boom, all of a sudden they're on your page.
Is that like similar how GoFundMe comes up on somebody's Facebook page? It's like when you click on it, it takes you right to that.
Well, similar as in, yeah, it's a link.
Yeah.
So the process is you create the page, which we started doing. Now, have you already looked at vehicles, Cynthia?
I've been looking at it, so he has a fund. They gave me $30,000 from his crime victim
Okay.
thing, so that's,
So he has 30,000 towards it. So you'd need an additional like 25,000.
yeah,
Okay. Maybe more.
maybe more,
Okay.
so they are expensive.
Yeah. So if you got it down to 5,000, could you handle that? To 5,000? Like if you got it down, like everything's covered except $5,000. Like is that doable, or is like no, I have to have all or nothing?
No.
All or nothing. Okay. So then you're going to start at we're going to say 30, because you could find a vehicle for 60 if it's two of you. Okay. I think you could find one for 50 if it's two of you. The reason mine's 70 is because I have a Transit. And it was new, right? So like it's a lot more expensive. I think you'll be able to find one for like 50. The reason I'm saying that is you want to be realistic with the goal as much as possible. So we're going to start here, okay? So I'm going to start at 25. If something comes up, we're like, oh my gosh, it was $5,000 more than I thought, okay? Which, by the way, that's what happens with GoFundMes is you hit your goal, but they didn't give you all that money because they take a chunk. So then now when that money comes over, you're like, oh, crud, I'm $5,000 short. Like, what do I do? So we're going to, where are we? Team Luke? Okay, so when you come in here, did you send me a picture?
Yeah, but it's not doing it because of the reception, but do you have air?
Yeah, you can airdrop it. Yeah. Oh, wait, I think I'm on. You guys see me? I don't know am I supposed to do something? This is beyond me. Yeah. I'm like, here you go.
I see a MacBook Air.
That's me. Yeah. Perfect. Thank you. Oh, I see you. Okay. That is so cool. Okay, let's see what we got. Okay. Airdrop to places, duplicates, download, imports, downloads. All right, let me get out of there. Let's go here. That's it. Yeah, hold on. Gotcha. Oh, no. Let's see. Oh, I have to accept it. I tried to look at it, but I didn't accept it. Open in Photos, save to downloads. Okay. Oh my goodness. How precious he is. Okay. All right, so. Okay, we're going to save that to downloads as a JPEG. And then we're going to go back in. I'm going to show you how to create this page. All right. I might have to edit it a little to crop it, but if I do, don't worry, I'll do it at the end. Okay, so we'll skip this. I skip the description because AI impacts it. I do it separately on ChatGPT. So I would recommend going into ChatGPT, using the prompts that I'm going to show all of you, and using that to make your description to help you get some information clearly. You said you're in California, Cynthia?
No, in Lubbock, Texas.
Lubbock. All right, I'm just going to put Texas. Disability, continue. Okay. All right, and we're going to skip. Hey, note to organizers, if you have family or friends that are willing to host this for you or be the organizer, you can say, hey, I'm working with an advocate. She told us how to do this, or she's helping us do this. Would you want to host, like, would you want to be the organizer? You don't have to worry about anything, but we could just say you are throwing the fundraiser. Sometimes, it makes you feel a little bit better to be like, hey, my sister started this page for us, or because of my advocate, my sister started this page. You guys all, every one of you in this room can use the word advocate because you're meeting with me. You would be, or potentially meeting with me one-on-one. You can say, my advocate encouraged me to, okay? It takes that sense of pressure for you to just be like, I wanted to do this because you can say, my advocate encouraged me to create a SupportNow page so that my friends and family can follow us on this journey, okay? It takes a little bit off of you. But if it's your sister's name or obviously they have to say yes and want to do it. They don't have to do anything though. You can still do the updates, okay? You can do all the journaling and stuff. They just have, like, sometimes it's easier when somebody says, oh, my sister did say she wanted to help. Great, sis, can we put your name on this? Read it, tell me if you're good with it. She reads it, yeah, this looks great, I love it. Love, Aunt Sarah, right? And it sometimes just feels a little better for people. So don't be afraid. If somebody has said, how can I help you? I've wanted to help you. Be like, you know what? You can be the host of this fundraiser. You don't got to do anything, but if you want to host it, feel free, okay?
Even better if they have a lot of friends.
Now, that's even better. When you're asking your 10, remember I said you're not asking 10 necessarily, you're trying to get to 10 yeses. 10 people willing to say yes to just sharing your page. So this is not 10 people that you're just saying randomly, like, oh, these are my 10 closest people. Your 10 closest might not be the right people, right? So figure out which people are in your life that have some kind of, now not everybody has this and it's okay. Don't discount the person that loves you that doesn't have a wide network. Don't discount them. Don't ever discount them, okay? But there might be somebody in your life, girlfriend you went to high school with that you still talk to in the DMs every once in a while. She's like, hey, how's your son? I saw you're going through a lot. Just want you to know I'm here for you. Like, great, I'm so glad you're here for me. Let me tell you something. I just need you to share this. Would you share this? They're gonna say yes. You're not asking anybody for money. We're never asking for money because we don't have to. The page does that for you. You're just asking for them to help you share the information so that more people might follow and support your child's journey. And guess what? You're gonna be hope to someone else because someone is gonna see your page and be like, I think I can do this too. It feels better than what I've seen in other things, right? I think I can do it. I mean, has anybody worked with me, heard from someone else about me or about the page, or like saw somebody else do it and go, oh, I think I could do that. Like I have more referrals from somebody saying, my girlfriend told me you helped her. Could you help us too? Like, this is how it works. Like, and when you step out in faith, like, oh, it's okay to do a fundraiser for a van. Like I felt like, oh, I should get the vehicles on my own. Well, when it's like this, when you can't buy a used van or you can't buy something that's been off the lot for 10 seconds, you have to get something new. That's too much.
I tried to do a fundraiser a couple times, but I wasn't very successful.
There's probably lots of reasons, so I'd have to look at your case by case scenario. And it doesn't mean that every single person that works with me, doing the technique is the best. Now sometimes, do you remember, were you in the class earlier?
No, I must have missed you. I thought this was the class.
No, so in the class I also talked about there's 4 ways to raise money through society. There's probably more than this, but these are the 4 most effective ways that I have found. crowdsourcing is the number one. This is the number one fastest way. It's $1 billion industry, guys. There's $1 billion going on to crowdsources, GoFundMe's, all these things a year, okay? Billions with an S. So it is the fastest, most effective way to raise support. Then there's sporting events. This can be as complicated as a golf tournament and as simple as you get a group of people that work out in a gym and they did, my son's was wall balls for Wyatt. They did, how many wall balls can we do? 0 cost. All it is buy-in, getting people to be willing to do it. They got sponsors for each wall ball they did. They raised enough money to send us to Dr. Profrock. Pretty awesome, right? Community yard sales, but I'm not talking about your front yard. I'm talking about big yard sales where you use a facility like this. You ask for 3 days. You get a storage unit, and you collect stuff throughout your community for a month. You collect far and wide. I have helped several families do this, and they average about 30 grand. But it's a heavy lift, as in not what it costs you, but time. It is a heavy lift, time. So I'm not going to act like it's easy. And then lastly is raffles. Raffles is not as heavy of a lift, but you need a lot of people to sell tickets. So if you get a youth group, a community group, Boys and Girls Club, somebody to get behind it, you're going to move it, or your colleagues. Like if you can get, like I need 10 people to sell 100 tickets each, like $5 a ticket or 20 for 5. You get everything.
Like a 50-50 or you raffle?
No. Like, so here's a family that I've
Did you say $5 a ticket or 20 for 5?
Our best raffles have been
yeah. So this is an example of a family that started with the support.
I don't live in Texas, guys.
So this is a family that started with a SupportNow page, and then they went over to finish it off with a raffle. So what they did was they raffle in the works. So she announced it because she has everybody following this page. By the way, they are fully funded. It didn't stop here. They got a check as well. They got the van. They were telling everybody excited. Then they finished off with their raffle. So they made pictures of each basket. They had 3 options. People got to chip in. She would always post a cute picture of her kid, and then they would just donate. They picked the 4 winners. They went live. They said, we're going to announce it live on Facebook. They announced the 4 winners. They went to local restaurants, spas, sporting events places, and just got $50 here, $100 here, $20 here. All these places will easily give you a donation. Donations, I mean, just come with a pre-printed little flyer. We're raising money for Tommy. Here's a link to his SupportNow page, whatever. Like show them all funds are going to cover stem cells. We wanted to see if your restaurant would donate, a gift card for $50 or $100. Especially local places, right? Big places, yes, sometimes they'll do it. But these local places, like where I live in Gainesville, go Gators. And Steve's, let's go. Steve Spurrier, he has a restaurant there. He's called the Coach, like Tim Tebow's coach, like he's the man. He has a restaurant called Spurrier's, and he gives out $100 gift cards for raffles all the time. Volleyball clubs, fundraisers, donations. You just go to those places. I mean, he ain't doing it. His manager is. They have permission to do it. These places they want to do goodwill. They want to help their community. And this is an easier way than them giving $100 because they have this stuff and it's not costing them that. But for somebody, it's a nice dinner, right? And they're saying, oh, wait, I get to help my sister's kid and potentially take my wife out? Come on. Like, that's a win-win, right? So either way, it's a good thing. So so raffles, sporting events, the yard sale. Yard sale is the least to ask, as in, like, you don't have to go get good. You're just picking up people's stuff that they want to get rid of usually anyway and storing it, but it is heavy on you. But some people that feels good. Like, let it be heavy on me. Let me go do it.
Nurses have been the most, I mean, we've done 3 or 4 of them, the most work on us, but I've never gotten $38,000.
Well, these are big. These aren't yard sales. These are community sales, yeah.
In a parking
So,
lot at church that we stored up stuff for months.
yeah.
And I don't know if it's just our area.
Well, we also do, so one of the things when I'm helping people, I'll help you customize PR releases. You should tell all your local news press. You should have, so here, look at this. So when I click share, if I click print, it'll print off this cute picture of your family with a QR code. Anybody that comes by this, no matter where it is, can get to your support page. I would have this printed. The why behind what's happening has to be incredibly clear. We had a huge banner saying Warriors for Wyatt, because that's my people are Warriors for Wyatt, right? They pray for my son. They show up for my son. We had this huge banner, Warriors for Wyatt. So I gave this example, but I'll give it again. A lady was haggling me for $2 for a lamp. I let her have the lamp. She donated $200, right? And I didn't know she was going to do that. But this has to be so evident everywhere, not just a couple, but like it's like this event is only to help this kid. And everything you give today is going to it. Not a percentage, everything. All of it.
We had those all over our cell, and those were very, and the guy, when he found out what we were doing, he donated the post, like.
Yeah. Yeah, people want to help. They'll get behind a good cause. So back to Cynthia. I'm still going with you. I'm still here. Okay. So here's the prompts. What happened to your picture? Am I in the right place? Let me see. Let's see. It's probably going to cut off part of his head on this because this cropping, but.
So along with selection of pictures to start up, how do you know like what would be the best picture that's engaging but
That's a great picture. Like you want it bright. You don't want it, nothing pixelated. If you have the whole family, so I'll show you some good ones. Let's see.
excuse me,
Yep.
babysitting over here, the child sitting, goes to what time?
I have no idea.
5:40.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna come right back.
Okay. Yeah.
Get my kid,
Yeah.
I'm gonna come right back.
So the first picture on here is this is a great picture because the lighting's good. Not everybody has professional pictures, so let me think of another kiddo. Here's another one of a family we just started helping. This is a family photo from Christmas, but it's a great picture because it has the family. So I wouldn't. Now the only caveat is if. And even then, you know what? I'm gonna back up. Even then, if you guys are wearing your friend's hat, I want you to put your friend's hat on because all of us are gonna see somebody that's hurting this week. They might have a car crash. There might be a diagnosis. You might hear, especially if you've had a near fatal drowning, you're gonna hear of one because we all do, right? Everybody starts reaching out to you when you hear of another one. This happened to my kid too, or this happened to my cousin. Can you help them? Or my kid, my sister's kid was just born with CP. I don't know how to help her. Can you help? Put your friend hat on and just say, hey, create a support page, let people pour it in. But even then, if a kid had an accident, I've dealt with lots of kids with accidents, post a picture of them good, okay? Like you don't have to post the saddest picture. So this kiddo, doing awesome, went back to school, but he has spinal cord injury. Initially, Dad had a different picture posted, and the kid saw it, and he was like, Dad, like take that off. So he picked out, now it's showing update pictures as you go through. He went back to school, like they were so excited. But his life is different now. But the picture that Ari, the kid who it's for, chose is that one. That's what he wanted. Our kids are the same way. They're gonna want a good picture of themselves. And you want your kid you want to show your family, right? So even if your disability is physical and noticeable, do a picture that you feel good about. Because you're going to want to share it if you feel good about it, right? So, okay, where was I? Cynthia. All right, let's go back. I think I lost you somewhere. Let's see. Hopefully I didn't. I might have. Darn. Let's see if I can get back to you, Cynthia. There we are. Okay. Okay, so here's my little cheat code. Okay, so we're going to go over to ChatGPT, and this is what I'm going to say. So, Cynthia, you said Uri? Okay. And diagnosis is CP from a TBI.
Dystonia, spasticity.
Yep. And how old again?
He's 3.
Okay. All right, so this is how I do a lot of things. Help me write a SupportNow description explaining the need for accessible vehicle for Uri, URI, who's been diagnosed with cerebral palsy, due to a TBI that he had at 2 months period. He's a fighter. He's absolutely adorable and lights up his mother's world. We are raising support and awareness so more people can be encouraged by his journey. We are trying to get a wheelchair accessible van so he can continue to go to the treatments and therapies that will make his life as accessible as possible and he can reach his potential. Mom will be posting updates here. Please follow along so more people might know about and support his journey. Use bold words for easy skimming. Make it story style and start with the diagnosis, end with the call to action. Okay, so these are things that I do. Now, it's not always perfect, okay? I love voice text because I hate typing. I have really, really bad spelling. So, as you can see, it's gonna make this amazing thing. Let's say, I'm gonna say end with, actually I'm gonna tell it to write it in third person. Write this in third person like we, the community, write this in third person like we, the community, are doing this on their behalf and rallying around this wonderful family. Okay? And love, friends, and family of Udi. Cynthia, sorry, let me do this, and then Cynthia, sometimes you have to type, huh? Cynthia is mom, who will do updates. Okay. All right, so once this is done, we're just gonna copy and paste, and you can edit and change anything that we write here. Whoops, let me go back, sorry about that. No, let me get out of there. The average cost of a wheelchair accessible vehicle runs from $50,000 to $70,000, and we are looking for a gently used one, but this is a huge feat for anybody, period. We've already been able to obtain $30,000 towards the goal, and now we're looking for the difference to make his life just a little bit easier. Okay, so putting the price, the cost of whatever it is that you're looking for is very important, okay? People don't understand why you can't just go get a $12,000 used vehicle. Like, they don't understand. You can't just go find that, ever.
On a specific part of the support page, what if you're just doing a support page just to, like, tell your story?
Would you be, I don't
Or,
understand.
like, just to share, just like,
This is chat, she's on chat.
oh, yeah. No, but I'm saying, where is this going on to?
This is going on their support page. So I'll show you. So I'm going back. So now I'm in here. You see there's nothing here right now except the default text.
Right.
So when I go in, I'm going to Organizer Dashboard. I'm going to Edit. I'm going down to this default text, which, by the way, if you have a video of your kid that you want to post, like something good or them trying something or doing a therapy, you can post that here, and there will be a little play button that you can play, and I'll show you guys an example of that. So now, this is what people see when they come. They don't know, by the way, this yellow is only for the organizer. Nobody sees that except the organizer, which I'm pretending I am right now. So the description's here. The call to action is here. Follow along, share his journey, give if you're able, right? So then you scroll down. This is where you'll see updates and stuff like that. So now this one, if I click share, if I click print, it's all ready to go, has the full picture, and I can click share, and this is what I'm going to tell her to do. So your goal is to get 10 yeses from people that are close to you or love your child. So sometimes that's not somebody you're close to. Sometimes that's his teacher that you might not know, and your kid's too young, but I'm giving an example. You might know them that well, but you see them every day when you pick them up, and you know that person loves your kid because they're always telling you another way they tried to help that day or they tried to do something. So letting them be aware. So this is how I would send it out if I were you. So I'm going to talk as if I was mom. This is an individual text message, no group text, okay? I cannot emphasize that enough. This is directly to individuals, and you're going to say something along these lines. Hey, exclamation point. I just came back from the Team Luke conference, and I met with an advocate there, period. She encouraged us to create a SupportNow page to share our son Udi's journey. I knew I was going to misspell that, so that's why I stopped. Let me fix this. Udi's journey with our friends and family, period. I wanted to see if you would be on hashtag Wheels for Udi. It's just going to misspell that the whole time, so I'm just fixing it. All that means is that you would be willing to share this page with others so on social media and with others so that more people might follow and support his journey, period. I am going to be posting updates here, period. Zero pressure, but would you want to be on his team, question mark? Okay, so I want you to know, you do never have to use anything I'm saying. This is like a template. Some people use it verbatim. If you feel good with it, 100% okay. You have permission to use it exactly as is. Followed immediately by the link to the page, okay? In the one text. There's a couple things I want to draw your attention to. First, I'm immediately saying who encouraged this, right? An advocate encouraged me to do this. My sister said she's making this. Something along the lines of this. Then I give a hashtag to it. That always just carries weight. People love hashtags. I don't know what it is. But I wanted to see if you would be on, and I meant to put team hashtag Wheels for Yuri, okay? I know I missaid that, but I'm just trying to make sure it's spelling in my head somehow. And then I say, all that means is this. I'm clear about what I'm asking them. All that means is that you would be willing to share this page on social media. I was specific with that. Now, if somebody says, I've had this happen, my family's not on social, it's okay. You can say social media and with others. So if they have like a Bible study they go to and they text their girlfriends, or you have a great aunt that you're like, she's never been on social media in her life, it's okay to still send it to them. Just edit that part and say, I just wanted you to see this. Sometimes it's just people you want them to know it exists. On social media and with others so that more people might follow and support his journey. I'm going to be posting updates here. So you're telling them, by the way, this is where you're going to find out more about my kid. Zero pressure. So that is a really big thing because somebody might say, for whatever reason, I can't do that. That's okay. It's okay. It's not for everybody. And that's exactly what you say when they say, I don't know. 100% okay. Zero pressure. Just follow along yourself. And maybe that's all they need. And maybe a week from then, they see everybody else and they're like, I can do it now. So don't put pressure on them. Just be like, that's okay. Zero pressure, but would you want to be on his team? I have a very direct ask at the end. It's a direct, it calls for a response. Now, if I put that on a group text, it does not call for a response, right? It's just like, oh, somebody's going to read it, somebody's going to respond. No, they're not. Nobody's going to respond. I have family group texts, and we all just sit there and get annoyed with the ding, 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 right? So this is a direct ask followed by the page, and then you just send it out. So I sent it to you, or I'm sending it to you, and you're welcome to use that verbatim. So her page is done. That's how fast we got the page going. So your commitment, Cynthia, is starting to, so you're going to share with your friends and family whatever day you decide. By the way, guys, launching a page is better midweek. So Monday through Thursday is better than Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The only exceptions are emergencies. If you get a call saying somebody got in an accident, be the friend that says, can I start you a SupportNow page? Even if they don't need money, you can put everything else. Guys, it's all customizable. You could turn on meals. You can turn on lend a hand, okay? All of that, you can turn money off. So you can have all of it on, and you can turn it off as it's not needed. Like I said, Meal Train takes 7.9% from families, okay? People don't know this. So you can customize it. You can say, let me start you a place where everything's in one spot. You're going to keep more money than any other platform, and all your needs can be listed here. So I love using this when somebody's going to intensive and they're going to be gone for a week. Then they can say, hey, by the way, could you drop off a meal? Because my husband's going to lose his mind with the other 3 kids. Like, if I could just have somebody drop off a meal 3 days a week. And people, what's nice about the lend a hand feature is people raise a hand, and they get to opt into that. Nobody's asked or pressured, or it's the only option. They go to send a meal, they click this, they can see what's available, raise a hand. There's other, you can do it's all customizable. So you could do meals, you could do prayer, you could put anything in here that you want. If you don't have something listed, so like right now, they have prayer listed for their kid. They want people praying all the time for them because she just got a diagnosis, right? So people can raise a hand and say, I'll pray, and it's going to send them a reminder. But if you don't have anything listed, you can just leave it on and people can offer. This happens all the time. They're like, hey, by the way, I'll help with transportation. I'll help with walking the dog. Because your people know more about you than I do, right? Or so they might know, they might walk into your house and be like, girl, we got to clean this house. And they might do that for you. Because if they see it, they're like, hey, by the way, I want to offer help. I want to offer. You didn't even ask. I want to offer. Sometimes people really want to do that. So let me show you an example. This is a family that had it turned off. And they had their Linda hand turned off, right? This is what you see. Well, in the, let me log out of that. Sorry, I was still in you, Cynthia. I'll just show you guys this last thing, and then anybody that wants to, take off, if you need to take off at any point, feel free, but I want to show you guys this. So from the inside, when you are in here, if I go to the back, so first of all, you can say thank you to and by the way, do you notice this? They've kept 99.2% of every penny that came in. There's no other platform like that, okay? Because most people chose to round up. It's amazing. I lost thousands of dollars to GoFundMe, thousands, okay? Which was all intended for my son. So right here, when I want to say thank you to someone, it disappears after I say thank you. So you know who you thanked from everything from needs. So if I go back to, well, I thought okay, I guess she didn't. If you thank them, it disappears. But over here, look, meals. These are people saying, I want to help. So people inside the house, 4 people have said, when you need it, I want to help towards this. So I could message those people and say, hey, I could really use some help. I know who said they want to do that. But if I have a specific need listed, then they can pick a date and just show up.
Can you show us what it does look like when you click donate and it asks you if you want to round up?
Yep, right here. Ensure this family keeps 100% of my donation.
Yeah, I was just on her, like, I had nobody round up on Roberts, and when I asked them about that, they thought that somehow, I just have people that don't understand. They thought that meant that the extra money they rounded up went to the platform.
No.
Not that means I get to keep the 100, like, they were very confused.
Yeah, so it's right here. It says, ensure this family keeps 100% of my donation.
Because what would the roundup be from?
So the roundup that's the only way the platform can continue to do this and pay for.
Like proceed to pay goes, it says like 132 or something.
But the beautiful part is like when they see it, it says what's this, and when you click on it, it breaks it all down. So there's nothing so like for example on GoFundMe they'll be like, well it's platform fees that we're being no, the 30 cents is not platform fee. It's theirs. And they're asking for a tip. And the tip, like, for example, Caring Bridge. Anybody ever use a Caring Bridge?
Yeah, it asks.
They solicit the people following you, and you don't get the money.
Wow.
What? And people, yeah. No, they do. They solicit. They send out solicitations. You're a follower of this person's page.
And the person doesn't get it?
No, it's not for them. It's a donation towards Caring Bridge.
Oh, wow.
Now, people don't know that.
This thing on GoFundMe just baffled me.
The tip isn't for you either. It goes to GoFundMe. Right? So the roundup, there is a roundup that there's a portion of that goes to SupportNow, there's a portion of that goes to Stripe, but it's optional. So it doesn't, like if they don't want to do it, they don't have to do it. It's still lower than every platform if they choose not to do it. 2.7 is the only amount that comes out. If they say, I don't want to do it, 2.7, which is, GoFundMe's is 2.9. We're, just for the record, SupportNow is charged 2.9. So we basically take a risk to say it's worth it. It's worth it to be transparent and to say we are honestly the lowest platform out there. And you can use the money in any way that you need to versus like some will say, well, we don't do this, but there's caveats to it. You can only use it for therapies that have been approved through certain things and like it's not as convenient. So like for me, I applied, like when I apply for a grant, sometimes another grant comes through and then I want to pivot. Well, if it doesn't work for that, so that's where crowdsourcing, like I'll say, hey, you're doing it for both. You got this grant. Now you can pivot and use that money towards this. for this next therapy or the next round or whatever it is, you know. So with larger amounts, I typically recommend the sprint, which is the page, followed by the marathon, which is the grants.
Say it again.
Which part?
Larger amounts is for?
For larger amounts, like you're talking about over 10,000, sometimes 7 to 10, depending on what it is. I recommend the sprint of creating a page. Now there's only so many times you can do a page, so I usually only do that for larger amounts. I would never do a $5,000 fundraiser unless it's like I have to have it in 72 hours, which I had somebody called off the stem cell list at Dr. Provok's office. They are like, I was on a 2-year wait list. I thought I had 2 years to save up. I got a call and they said they could see my daughter in 3 days, or I don't remember what it was. It was like really fast. She's like, I don't even know. I did a GoFundMe 6 months ago. I was like, girl, let's do it. We wrote out description. What is it and why? Like, so it literally says, and typically has a 2+ year wait list. What is the cost? $8,500 she had to pay, right? What are we asking? Prayer, sharing, and support. This was their preference. Then boom, we hit that goal in 3 days. Wow. But when you present it, it has to be presented well. That's the key. Like a lot of people will just, and that's not everybody's story. So I'm not going to be like, you're going to get, X amount of money. But a lot of people underestimate their community. And you remember, no one person paid this. 59 people contributed to that. Okay? So you got to remember, we're eating an elephant one bite at a time. So 276 people contributed to hers. Okay? And we can reflect grants too, by the way. You get that $5,000 grant, you want your community to know, we can show them that. Any other thoughts, questions?
So when you, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. I just want to know how we can connect with you,
Yep.
to get more personalized.
Right here.
Okay.
So just set up a time. I would go ahead and fill it out now. Don't wait, because they're going to send you a link to fill out to answer some questions. Okay. If it says crowdsourcing, just say yes. I'm interested in crowdsourcing because I think most of you are. And then it'll send you my calendar link. You'll get to choose a date that works for you. We'll sit down and we'll do a 30-minute Zoom.
Sorry.
No, you're okay.
So when you have stem cells, you have like Dr. Crawford's, awesome.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. And if you wanted, like you said, you just don't want to do too many pages, right? Do one and kind of incorporate
Yep.
what you need. Hyperbaric, those would be like the 3 top things.
Yeah, yeah.
For me, in a sense. How would you kind of incorporate all 3 in one?
I say it in the description. I break down the cost. I could help you with it. Yeah.